This video is brought to you by Squarespace. And good morning. Today I'm doing something I haven't done in quite some time, which is shooting with my 85mm. Since I started to shoot wider, like 28mm, but more so 35, like almost 2 years ago. I haven't really used my 85mm in this period of time. I committed to wider focal lengths because I wanted to improve on composition skills, and I didn't want to rely on long focal lengths to get me closer to people. And during this 2-year period, my shooting style also evolved quite a lot. I'm way less attracted to shooting people and get up close. I like scenes, I like also abstract stuff, and I want to I want to use all the knowledge I acquired shooting a bit wider. Now, using my 85mm, I will try to use it a bit more going forward, but yeah, I'm sure it will require quite some time to adapt. So today is one first outing with the 85. I'm here again in Miyajima. So yeah, let's just shoot, and hopefully if you knew me through my old 85mm videos, today maybe you will be happy that I'm shooting with this one again. Here I find it quite interesting that the torii in the distance is nicely lit by the light, and there is also a little pocket of light hitting this stone wall, and I'm trying to place the torii right in the middle of this pocket of light. I don't know if it will work, but let's just try it. Here I'm trying something a bit more abstract. We have the torii that is half covered by the pine tree. We see the pillars, and what interested me is the reflection of the pillars in the water, creating some wavy, abstract things. And I like the color contrast too between the red orange from the torii and the blue from the water. And yeah, for such shot you need to underexpose quite a bit. I mean, if you're using any automatic mode on your camera, I'm at like -0.7 or -1 for this one. And let's see how it turns out. Here you can always do the classic, use one of these lanterns like this, place your camera and frame the torii a little bit in the lantern, creating a lot of negative space by blocking parts of the frame, create something pretty clean, and especially with longer lenses like 50 and 85 like I'm using today. Yeah. I like this angle on this pagoda. The tree here is not fully into the fall season color yet. It should be a little bit more yellow, but I like it anyway. And here, if I like tilt a little bit my camera, I can include slightly more of the tree to have a better balance of like colors and subject, like synergy between the two. You know, I like my Dutch tilt, but I always try to make them have a little bit of sense, not just randomly tilting my camera, and I think here it worked pretty decently. I like this narrow street here, and given that it's still pretty early in the day, we might have an opportunity with only one person walking towards us, or I mean down the street. Could look pretty cool. During one of my recent visits to Miyajima, I spotted this little gap here to frame the pagoda. I think it works well, especially at 85 that I'm using today, to have something very minimal. I can even crop in post or jump into crop mode to have something very limited here. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do now. I don't know if it will work, but here I reduce my shutter speed to 1/10 of a second or something like that, and I focus on these leaves and I try to shake my camera, and I mean the goal is trying to create something a bit abstract. There's nice colors from the leaves with a bit of contrast with the sunlight, and there are also the branches that are pretty dark. So yeah, let's see if it works. I quite like what we can get here at 85mm. We focus on the pagoda and the temple attached to it. The only issue I have with it now is the lighting, because it comes from my back and it creates some very flat lighting on the subjects. There's no angle to the light. So it's not the ideal scenario. If I stay here long enough, I can come back in the afternoon when the sun will be more on the other side around here, and it could yield a better result, but I'm just not sure I will still be here. Here we have another scene that works quite well with a front lighting, pretty flat lighting situation, because there's a lot of tree here in the foreground that creates the contrast. There's still a slight angle to the light, so it lights up only a portion of this little hut there in the background, which is the main subject of the frame. We have some color in the sky and on the tree behind the hut, so yeah. Works well, and I like that I can take here a horizontal landscape orientation shot. And before we continue, I want to take a brief moment to thank today's video sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an easy-to-use all-in-one website platform that makes it simple to create a beautiful website, connect with your audience, and sell anything from physical to digital goods all in one place. At the start of the year, I decided to move my website and consolidate everything on Squarespace. It's a decision I'm very happy with today, mainly because it is so easy to manage. I now have a beautiful store, a clean portfolio, and an organized blog, all on my personal website. The hardest part of moving to Squarespace was making the decision to do it, because despite having no coding or web design knowledge, building my website from scratch was incredibly easy, smooth, and even enjoyable. Starting from a blank canvas can be tricky, but with Squarespace high-quality templates, you can begin designing your website on a solid foundation, customize it as you like, and have it ready to launch in just a few hours. My online business is a crucial part of my activity, so having a platform that runs smoothly, delivers my digital products efficiently, and offers a variety of payment solutions is essential. Squarespace is the perfect solution for both growing and established online businesses, and my experience with it has been a breeze. I highly recommend trying it out for yourself. Head to squarespace.com for a 14-day free trial, and when you're ready to launch your website, go to squarespace.com/Adrien to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for supporting my channel and my work here. I really appreciate it. And now let's get back to the video. Something I'm trying to get better at is when there's a subject that cannot fit entirely in the frame because of like the environment, or because we are shooting with a tight lens like an 85mm, is actually choosing a portion of that subject and figuring out a composition around this. And I've been doing this a lot more when I shoot at 35, 40mm recently, and doing this on the 85 is even more of a challenge because you have to be really selective with what you include in the frame. But when you nail it, I think it works so well. And I'm out of breath because I'm going uphill and trying to talk to the camera. But anyway, I just found a little shrine, and there was obviously no space to fit everything on the 85. And yeah, I think I figured out something that is working quite okay. But my point is that it is not because there's a subject like a building, a car, or just a person. You don't have to fit everything in the frame every time. Here on Miyajima, oyster is the main thing, so that's what I'm going for. This reminds me of a photo I took in Bangkok, Thailand when I went there in May this year. Like there was a bunch of these bottle rack, but all of them were blue. Here we have some red Coca-Cola ones, and with the 85 I can make focus on the center part, having some sort of a repeating pattern kind of photo, and yeah, I think it looks quite good. This is typically where a 28 or 35mm would have worked well, like with the light, the shadows, like the simple shapes of all these little houses. It creates something quite visually interesting, but at 85 it's a bit too tight. So shooting 85mm after such a long period of time turned out to be quite a bit more difficult than I thought. You really have to think outside the box. I'm used to shoot at 35, 40 and 50, which are a lot closer to how we perceive the world with our eyes, and that's what I like with those focal lengths, because I can just walk around, find good places, find good scenes, and just figure out a good angle, a good composition to make it look as best as possible. But with the 85 or anything like above 50mm, you really have to visualize and spot something that you really cannot perceive with the human eye. I'm sure that if I keep shooting at 85, or if we talk about someone who is used to shoot 85 on a regular basis, they have this ability to spot those compositions quite instinctively, but it's really not like how we perceive the world normally, so I think it requires a lot of training and a lot of getting used to, especially now, because at least for me, I want to stop like sniping at people from a distance at 85 and using like the lens at f1.8. I really want to use the long focal lengths to create something different than my typical work at 35 or 40 millimeter. And it's not with only one day of shooting with the 85 that I can really translate my my knowledge, my skills that I have with these wider focal lengths on the 85. So yeah, I don't know, like I don't want to spread myself too thin. I really like this 35 to 50 focal length range, but going forward I want to keep on shooting with the 85 with this new mindset of looking for abstract, looking for nice scenes and not like sniping around. So I came back here in the afternoon, the sun placement is slightly better, but I noticed something while switching to the video mode on my A7C II, because video mode is 16:9. I realized that I could have a better composition maybe by punching in a little bit more and using the crop markers to shoot like CinemaScope format. So I use the APS-C crop mode to have a 1.5, which makes roughly 110 millimeters, focused on the tempo with a little bit of the pagoda, but obviously not everything fit in the frame. And like I said earlier in the video, I think this was a good call, because sometimes you don't have to fit everything inside for a better composition.